It is the Riot Podcast. Good Tuesday, February 21st edition.
He appears. Welcome back.
Yeah. You know, we could just pretend that I was never gone or turn a blind eye to it.
No, not when you have the norovirus.
Yeah.
Is that what you had?
Yeah, that was what I had.
I don't even know what that means.
It's just coming out of both ends.
Have you been have you been like taking vitamins and sleeping and stuff?
It doesn't matter.
With
this
the
stuff doesn't happen.
norovirus.
It's a virus.
And it's forever. So if someone has it, don't touch anything.
What do you mean by that? It's forever?
Meaning it can live a really long time compared to other viruses.
It's really important for me to wash my hands now.
Yes.
Got it.
Which means I better start.
Is this a self-diagnosis or you go in?
No, because when you have norovirus, there's no point because they can't give you anything for it.
So
they just tell you don't get dehydrated.
Yeah,
God,
which is hard because you literally for a while you will throw up the water or whatever you drink, which makes it really difficult. Yeah,
man.
But here I am on the other side, and like I said earlier, I probably feel better today than
you finally got
for
some rest.
Quite a long time. Yeah,
Dang, that's good that you came back, bounced back. Now from here on out, we got to wash our hands.
You should try it too. You should try the norovirus.
You think I should try taking a day off or something?
You don't want it for
Maybe
that.
Maybe a complimentary one.
You actually are sick. Like that's not one where you're just not feeling. You don't feel under the weather with the norovirus. You literally are just having a miserable day.
Well, you lose a bit of weight, and if you can get through like 24 hours, you come out on the other side.
So it's just a one-day thing for you?
Yeah, I was 20. It started like 7-ish. If you count like just feeling a little queasy, maybe like 4 at the earliest on Sunday. And by 4 yesterday, I was pretty much, after spending literally the entire day either on the toilet or in bed. After that, I was
You're good.
Up and at 'em, feeling good. Yeah, so here I am feeling tip-top.
Well, I'm glad you bounced back. No one else wants whatever that is because, again, that's a real one.
I took the day off to save you
us.
guys.
Thank you.
I didn't know
Thanks.
if you would accept the norovirus cleanse that I went
thank
through.
you.
Yeah,
well,
not for me.
I don't know, though. When it's time for Isaiah to cut and...
True.
and
Give me another month.
If you ever need to
swimsuit season.
make weight for an MMA fight or something, I recommend the norovirus. It should really help you.
All right. Well, in the podcast today, we do thankfully have some fun stuff, which will hopefully, if you're at home, maybe you're ill and listening to the podcast today, hopefully we can make you feel a little bit better.
Sure.
We talked about dogs in the car. With their head out the window. And nothing makes me happier when I'm driving down the road than looking over and seeing a dog in a car.
Aww.
Yeah.
This is Florida legislative where they're talking about potentially having that be not something that you could do so that you could get ticketed if you were driving with your dog with their head outside the window, a moving vehicle.
I think the dog should get ticketed. Make it up to the dog. Again, this is it's a free country. It's the dog's choice what they want to do, and I think what the dog wants to do is stick its head out the window.
Dogs can be too much expense.
Don't get a lot of freedom, and that's one of the last freedoms they have. And you want the nanny state to take that away?
Thank you for calling it that.
The what state? The nanny
state.
The old people.
Yeah.
We also talked about aliens if they're coming to Earth. Do we want them or not?
And if you do want aliens to come to Earth, would you prefer them to be during your lifetime, or is that just something where you just hope you're dead and then they come after?
Yeah, I think we got some interesting perspectives on that.
That should be good.
And it's a tough thing because I think we would be better off if we, obviously, how can you get the entire world on the same page? But I think we should be on the same page on what we want to do with aliens. And I don't think, again, it's the whole world. How could we do that? But, it's kind of would be in our best interest, right?
I think that they're just waiting for Isaiah to die since he said publicly he'd rather them not come until he's dead. And then the second you're dead, they're like, okay, well, now we can
come.
Finally.
And they can feel the wrath of some people in the country that would just want to kick them out.
You know how it is, right, with aliens? Like sometimes,
No, because there isn't, so we don't know.
I don't know
how it could be is that the stray radio waves bouncing through space, what if the aliens picked up on our conversation today?
Oh, our podcast?
Where we talked about aliens, and what if they heard some of that and it either encourages them or discourages them from coming?
Hopefully it discourages.
Yeah, if not, what if they're coming and they're trying to sway you away from radio? Just like we need Hudson for our own radio.
We need him. Not
if the aliens are coming to Earth because they heard me on the radio,
then they're in trouble.
And they're then
That means we know
Please.
that they're just like
Please,
ridiculously
aliens.
unintelligent.
I would love nothing more than an entire planet that wants to worship
If they were
me.
so intrigued by Hudson, that means actually they can come. I'm not intimidated at all.
Yeah, you're
that means
fine
that their
then.
IQs are real low. They're like, this guy, he could be our king. I'm like, if you think Hudson's your king, then come on in.
Well, all right, guys, if you're listening, he's all yours.
You can have him.
You can have him. We'll see what goes on with that.
I think we
Worship
found
him.
something that's in all of our best interests.
Yes, worship
For me
him.
to go live with the aliens.
Make sure we welcome these changes now. Make sure you text and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U and enjoy the rest of the podcast. And we're glad everybody's feeling better. And it nothing else comes of that. So
Well, catch you tomorrow.
okay, bye.
See you guys.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at RadioU Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
Surely yesterday on the show, you did the box office breakdown.
We did, and we talked about the new Ant-Man being the top movie.
The number one movie.
But
Did you?
by, like, at least for the domestic box office, we noted that UI and Isaiah thought it was going to bring in way more money than it did.
What do you mean? I completely nailed it.
Well, no, because the 3-day total was only $104 million.
Yeah, but it's President's Day weekend. It's a long weekend. You always
We-
count what
listen,
happens on the long weekend.
No, that's not what we talked about going into
We
the
didn't
weekend.
specify, and I see here that it made $120 million when you count President's Day. In other words, I got it 100% correct once
I
again.
think you're wrong because on Friday we didn't say to each other, "Oh, we're going to make it a 4-day total weekend." We just said, "What is it going to make during like a traditional weekend?"
I don't think we said that. I don't think we established rules. So I guess we all assumed, and I guess you know what happens when that happens.
We're
So,
all right.
Yeah. So either way, I was the closest.
Oh.
Will you give me that?
All right, fine. You can have it. You were sick. Let's just make you feel better.
And Ant-Man, despite us all maybe overshooting how much we thought it would make, it still made much more than any other Ant-Man movie in its opening weekend previously. So you'd think that'd be a success. But we'll see how it does going forward. But the problem is it's now earned a negative distinction among not just Ant-Man movies, but among all Marvel movies in general, because it is currently tied for the lowest rated Rotten Tomatoes score of any Marvel movie ever.
Is it tied with the Eternals?
It's tied with, the Eternals
Yeah.
is the other one. That's they both have 47% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not good.
See, I think as a non-Ant-Man fan, it was always, I think Ant-Man looks stupid, but everybody says it's amazing. So that always had that bonus to it. So I feel like with this new one, it was like, it looks stupid. And no one's saying it's amazing. So I think they're a little sad about that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Not the worst, but not amazing.
Or even if I'm looking through the other ones that are poorly reviewed, I've not seen the Eternals still to this day. But the next poorest reviewed is Thor: Love and Thunder. And when you're talking, now granted that's 64, which feels like a lot higher than 47. But if that's your next worst reviewed movie in a series of 30 movies,
Not
that's
bad.
pretty good. But I also refuse to believe, and maybe this is just some oppositional defiance in me, but I refuse to believe that Ant-Man and the Wasp is worse than some of these other movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe without seeing it yet.
You're going to have to see it.
Yeah, but I mean, the other ones that are obviously the Eternals is what it's tied with now for the lowest. Then the next lowest is Thor: Love and Thunder, which is somehow lower than Thor: The Dark World, which is horrible, and The Incredible Hulk from way back in the day. And not even in the bottom 5, Captain Marvel, which is definitely worse than any of
It's the
those.
worst.
I guarantee. So that now I'm starting to push back. I haven't seen Ant-Man yet, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, but now my attitude is I think I'm gonna like it.
I think you're going to give a positive review.
I'm gonna go in there, and if Rotten Tomatoes approves me to be a critic, which I should be, I've got a international morning radio show. I think I'm gonna help boost Ant-Man and the Wasp score. So that it doesn't have
Get
this
it to
distinction.
60, all right?
Yeah, it doesn't deserve this. Paul Rudd definitely doesn't deserve this, that's for sure.
You can change it.
The words too expensive aren't in Nikki's vocabulary. This is The Riot. Radio U.
But I'm counting on you to report back to us on The Bachelor last night. Because you know how it is. I got a little sick. All my days are thrown off. I forgot that The Bachelor was going on last night. but I hear it was an episode unlike any other.
Per usual.
Do they say that after everyone?
They say that every time. Like once a week, they're like, it's going to be an episode like never before.
It's amazing how 20-some seasons now, and they keep coming up with new episodes that are unlike any of the other hundreds and hundreds before
Now,
them.
I will say, though, is it Zach? Is that
Zach.
Okay,
Wow.
so I did. Well, I only saw that because this morning I saw it trending. They're like, I can't believe Zach did that. I was like,
see, it was an episode unlike
Per
any
usual.
other.
it's like,
I can't believe he did that.
I'll wait till Isaiah gets in and ask him, what did the one guy do?
So Zach got COVID.
Oh!
Yeah.
Big COVID guy.
Bad
So
timing.
It kind of ruined the whole episode because, like, obviously, what the heck do you do when the Bachelor gets COVID? You do, like, video chats, which is, I mean, obviously, you can imagine, very, very intriguing TV.
Yeah, entertaining, I'm sure.
Oh, super entertaining. So it was like it seemed like the episode, they were just trying to fill it the whole time.
Aww.
Like, they were showing, like, past dates and kind of just filling the whole thing. There wasn't a whole lot.
Why
Oh,
did
no,
they
it
just
was a
wait
clip
till-
show.
Yeah, it was a
Why do you
clip
wait till
show.
And they only have a couple episodes to clip from.
They like during one of the the couples, I guess, during one of their talks, like Katie, who's like definitely a front runner, one of my favorites personally. They during their little video chat, they were showing like her date and stuff, like from a couple episodes ago, and it was just like not a whole lot of new substance, which was kind of crappy.
They should have done guess which bachelorette person gets it as well.
Yeah. What, the thing that was crazy to me, and I don't know how all this COVID stuff works, but I thought that, if Zach's been, as he has been this whole season, just locking lips with everybody,
Then they would all have
you
it.
would think they would all be like isolated, but they were all just hanging out together. And I was like, well, if Zach has it, at least 6 of you from the day before
You would
have
think.
it. But they
they
were all
live
just
in a
hanging
house?
out. They all live in it's like a resort hotel thing. They
does
kind of
the-
move around.
Does the bachelor guy live with them too? Or
He lives there, but they're all in their own separate rooms. It's like a resort.
it's a wing?
I was
Yes.
reading about the episode because it was so unlike any other. And I saw that they went to London. So he went out on like a date with a gal the night before he gets COVID, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
how
but you
does
don't
she not have
know.
COVID?
And
You
they
don't
were
know the real timeline, though. It's the show. They can just make it seem like
true.
something.
I guess it could. It could have been from a
You know
couple
that.
days before.
Yeah, I guess I should
But
know
they
better.
weren't locking lips during the date, and she still didn't have to do whatever. It's what it is. Either way, Zach was by himself doing a lot of video dates.
So does he
and
still eliminate people from afar?
He did.
Wow.
He did. They still did a rose ceremony. And, if you get eliminated during a virtual rose ceremony, you got to know it was your time to go.
It says they never done that before.
Yeah, that was the first time,
which is
makes
crazy.
sense. It makes
Even
sense.
during the height of COVID, they never did a virtual rose ceremony.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, if
rough.
you lost your rose during the virtual portion of The Bachelor, it probably means you weren't going to make it anyway.
Yeah, I
Wow,
guess
sorry, bachelor.
not. He had you in the chamber to be knocked out anyway.
It was Kylie and Mercedes that got eliminated last night.
Oh, 2 people.
Yeah.
Sorry, Isaiah. I still don't want to watch the show.
I guess this tells
I know,
me.
but this episode was you didn't need to watch this one anyway.
skippable. It's surprising. I always thought that most of this was filmed all ahead of time, but they're doing this on a week by week because they could have just cut most of this out
Yeah.
if they had a bunch of stuff filmed already.
You sound practical.
I do.
You would think that's how it goes.
But then I guess, you could have leaks and spoilers getting out and stuff like that, although that's what they do for other
They were
shows.
also
so.
hoping that this would just be a different episode, even if it was ridiculous.
And why would you expect now in 2023 for COVID to derail things? I guess you probably wouldn't expect that.
and we're going to watch it anyway. No matter what.
You sat through the whole 2
Sat through
hours,
the
didn't
whole
you?
COVID version.
You just keep dating.
While Isaiah is wishing for a girlfriend, Nikki and Hudson are just wishing for any friend at all. The Riot. Radio U.
Isaiah, would you mind going out and getting some pancakes?
Do you
I
not,
would love to.
Do you not know what today is?
I don't. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Today is a particular Tuesday in February.
Uh-huh.
It's a
Fat Tuesday? Is that what it's called?
Fat
Yes,
Tuesday.
It's Fat Tuesday.
I don't know what that means, though.
Fat Tuesday
It
is also
means
known as Pancake
Pancake Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Pancake Tuesday.
Or
Yeah.
you're just
Don't act like you know what that means. Don't act like you know.
What the heck is that? What's Pancake Tuesday? I don't know what this is.
Today is like, the last day, because tomorrow, depending on some people, it's Ash Wednesday. And so today is like the day you're supposed to just do whatever.
Got it.
So a lot of people choose to eat whatever.
Yeah.
And pancakes as it is, or punchkis, the donuts.
Yeah, we did that last year.
Yeah.
We did that last year.
Because I saw those the other day in Kroger, and I was like, oh, yeah, remember when we had these?
That's
and so
for today.
that's what we did today. So what are we doing this year?
I know. We wanted to ask, what do we have for breakfast today?
Pancakes.
You thinking pancakes?
I think we should get pancakes. We never get pancakes.
But I already have pancakes. That I'm
Yeah,
Yeah, but
gonna
we
eat.
can get better pancakes.
And those are good. I swear they're good. I think we should do maybe like bacon.
Bacon?
Bacon.
It's not called Bacon Tuesday.
What are you talking about? It's not called Pancake Tuesday either.
It is called Pancake Tuesday.
Oh, it's called Pancake
It
Tuesday?
is with Fat Tuesday.
It's on the Wikipedia
How many
page.
names are there? Are there any
There's
other
at
foods?
least 3. There's Shrove Tuesday, which we haven't touched on. You want to get Shroves?
I don't know if I
I
want
don't
to
know
get
what that
shrove.
is. I don't even know what a Shrove is.
I think
Sounds like-
that's in the handbook. We're not allowed to.
Yeah, no, we're not allowed to get
What
shrove.
does a Shrove mean? But it's also called Pancake Tuesday, and
just
most people know it
Pancake Day.
as Fat Tuesday.
We could do donuts.
We could do donuts, but that's what we always do. And I've got a story
Where am I going
coming
to get pancakes from?
What do you mean? IHOP, Bob Evans, the
guys
Pancake
never
House,
wanna do
the
IHOP.
original Pancake House,
The pantry.
We're going to get them to go?
We could. We could have
Yeah, why
delivered.
not?
Well, you know what? That's fine with me.
Waffle House.
That's fine.
I'm Cracker Barrel. That's a bit more of a
They
drive.
aren't around here. What are you talking about?
McDonald's
Oh,
has
yeah,
them.
you could.
Now
Yeah.
we're really spending top dollar. I'd rather get some hash browns rolling, I think.
No one said it was nice Pancake Tuesday. It's just
True.
Pancake Tuesday.
I already listed off of some of the nicer options, and you.
So you'd rather do that? I'm fine with that, as long as we can get bacon on the side.
Sure, nobody's saying no bacon.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Who wants to order?
I'll order, and I'll go, and I'll pick them up, and I'll see you guys in 3 hours.
You're like, well, it's a holiday, so he did it.
I'll eat them there. I'll bring some back for you, though.
Is anybody going to have any punchkis today, or what are you doing for this Pancake Fat Tuesday?
Yeah, because
So-
they're different traditions, right? We've been over that also in
Some
Fat
people
Tuesdays
also-
of the past.
They just don't have you just don't have the tradition, but you're like, well, I guess I'll have some.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing, or else I would have prepared today for a more special day. I'm just having an everyday Tuesday. I didn't know I was supposed to be doing something cool today.
Well, you knew we were going out for Nikki's birthday lunch, right?
To be honest, I completely forgot. But I celebrated
So
yesterday.
something tells me you wouldn't have been prepared even if you did know.
Well, if somebody had mentioned to me that I was supposed to have some sort of last hurrah today, then I would have had something to hurrah about.
Well, only if you're going to change your ways tomorrow, which
Well, maybe I will, maybe
I'd
I
be
won't.
surprised.
I'd like to celebrate with you guys if you guys are changing your ways, and then tomorrow maybe I won't.
I don't think this is meant for us. We'll just pick something, or we'll just we'll go get some coffee.
live
That's
it
all
up.
we'll have.
Live it up on Fat Tuesday.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
I have a state here that is coming for your pet's freedoms. And it's not a state you would be expecting to be chowing down. No, that's not the right.
Interesting verbiage.
It's not the state cracking down.
Cracking down
on
that
your
it
pet's
is.
freedoms. But
They're not eating them.
listen to this. I'll put the state out there. It's Florida. And listen to what they want to do to your dog. They, in the state of Florida, have a bill pending that would ban your pup from sticking its head out the window of a moving vehicle.
Okay, so when you're driving.
When you are driving, your dog would not be allowed to stick its head or any other part of its body. Well, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say driving. It just says out of a car window. So you're even at a stoplight, stop sign. You want your pup to get a chance to sniff its surroundings, take in
Good.
the fresh air.
Yeah, but it's dangerous.
Nope, illegal.
Haven't you ever seen? I remember once at the big intersection down there near the mall, someone's dog jumped out their window.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It rolled down
Oh,
too far.
It was awful because, I mean, what are you going to do? They looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to catch them.
Well, roll up your window a little bit. It doesn't have to be down all the way.
But not all dogs can handle the window coming
no.
down.
Well, because a couple bad dogs, we can't.
No bad owners.
We are going to ruin it for all dogs.
This is also, they say, there's many other animal welfare topics that actually look good to do. Prohibiting cat declawing because that's not good for cats.
Sure.
Rabbit sales before Easter.
Oh, we can't do that.
We can't do that.
No, that's
Restricting when an animal could be tethered outside because some people just leave their dogs.
Okay, maybe.
Out all the time. So this is a big animal welfare bill that they're trying to put through.
Yeah.
And it includes the not having your dogs hang out the window when driving a moving vehicle.
What do you make of all this? You have a dog?
Yeah, Jim's pretty good. He'll put his head out the window, but he won't actually have it out the window, if that makes sense. Like, he'll get his nose close.
He's never made a run for it.
No, like, he won't even put his whole head out the window. It's like just the end of his nose out the window. And so he's pretty good about keeping his head and hands and feet and arms inside the vehicle at all times. But I know there are dogs that really poke it out there, which obviously is dangerous. They also said in the article too that it's like a danger of like them getting hit by like rocks, dirt, dust, stuff like that, which I can see is dangerous. For me and my dog, it's not an issue because Jim is too big of a baby to put his head outside. But I can see for some dogs why it could be dangerous.
This is about the animals' welfare.
I think the animals' welfare goes way down if they can't have fun.
Well,
they're already cooped up in a house all day long.
We can't have fun either.
No, not when not when the man is getting involved, not when the state is cracking down on our freedoms.
This is about the transportation of dogs in cars. So it's including forbidding drivers from having a dog in their lap. Like, that is a smart thing.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
That's probably smart.
And this bill will also enforce rules for transporting dogs on the car's hood or the roof.
Well, you can't do that either.
Some people. So it actually has a lot of good animal welfare stuff.
Well, just because it has a lot of good doesn't mean that letting your dog stick out its head out the window should also be banned.
I've seen Jim have fun with his shadow. I think if we take away one fun thing, this won't be a big deal.
They say that it's really having your dog outside the window could be damaged, mostly with the dog's ears, and then they do say your dog could fall out.
What evidence do they have of that?
The dog falling out?
Well,
remember I told you?
I think that's just like
I know
sense.
dogs can jump out of a car. How often does that happen?
I think it happens more often because if not, you have to. I mean, you should be having them on a leash so you could pull them back in, but then that just chokes the dog.
So you guys are in favor of this law?
It's not as bad as you're making it sound out to be.
I think it's pretty bad.
I don't think it's that bad.
I think it's pretty bad. I think that dog should be allowed to.
Because for me,
they
I don't
have
even
much. I don't think.
Even if they have,
I don't
yet
think
again,
they have much.
Jim's favorite toy is a piece of string. He can have fun with anything. He doesn't need to stick his head out the window.
He doesn't need the fresh air.
Well, okay. I think I can convince you guys.
Let's do it.
If you aren't able to roll down your window and let your dog stick its head out, you know what's going to happen to your window?
What?
Disgusting.
Oh, the snot nose.
Disgusting.
The nose.
Is that what you want?
You
Is
can
that what you
tell a
want?
dog owner because of the snot nose prints all over theirs. Yours has it. Mine has it. Like, it's crazy.
And there's
That's
no
how it
point in
goes.
even cleaning it because it'll just get that way again unless I never take my dog anywhere. And that's not fair to her. And neither is rolling up the windows all the time.
Well, fine. You be the one. A rock hits her eyes and she can't even see outside.
You're putting your
anymore.
dog. It's dangerous ownership. You're a
take
bad
my
dog
chances.
owner.
I
Bad
will
dog
take
owner.
my chances.
Putting
And
Zafira
more
in
importantly,
danger.
Zafira will too. She's smart enough to make her own choices.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
I believe that neither of you guys got around to watching any XFL football this weekend. Is that right?
No, I did see, I guess, is The Rock one of the investors?
Yeah, he
I
is,
did see they kept pushing like he was doing a talk or something. Or
Oh, he was
hyping
pumping them
everybody
up.
up.
Yeah, he was.
But outside of that, I didn't see any clips.
I watched a little bit.
You did, huh?
I was hanging out at a restaurant. They had it on in the background.
And what did you think?
Then that means you didn't choose to watch.
I wasn't really watching it, but it was on.
Okay, that's good enough. That's
Yeah.
what they're. That's
I
all
saw
they're
some
hoping for,
highlights.
probably. So do you think, based off of the highlights and everything, what is your thoughts?
Meh.
Not interesting.
Not really. It's just not at a good time for me.
It's not a good time.
Well,
Yeah.
When there's no other football going on.
But like we just finished so much football. Like we just finished the NFL and like college football season. I just got a lot of football, and I don't really like. I'm not like craving it right now. I think like 5 months from now, I'd be craving it. Right now, we just did the Super Bowl. I'm like, I just came off
Sometimes
of a lot.
it's not bad to have a little bit of a break and then come back in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. But I watched a little bit of XFL on Saturday, and I'll tell you that the quality is not there. I guess this is no surprise, but it's
like
amazing.
The production, you mean?
No. Actually, I think the production, like this was on ABC, the broadcast teams and whatever, the production value, that was actually real good, surprisingly good. But I just mean it's amazing the drop off from NFL level offense to XFL level offense because the quarterbacks are so much worse. So they're in charge of everything. If the quarterback isn't any good, it makes it really hard for anybody else to shine.
Do you also get a feeling like, do you feel like the plays are just because they're older or like afraid to get hurt or just
I don't know. I think they're going all out. This is their chance to show off. You know what I mean?
That's true. Maybe make it back into the NFL one day.
Make a name for themselves a little bit. So I don't know, but it is entertaining. I think it's actually kind of entertaining. I think you can find yourself a Saturday or Sunday, just don't have much going on. I think you'd have a good time watching the XFL. But what's interesting is, most of all, is that the XFL has some different rules than the NFL. And some rules are even rules that the NFL is considered adopting. So let me get your impressions of this. Probably the top one that I might be in favor of is in the XFL, instead of doing an onside kick to get the ball back.
Hang on.
Go on, sorry.
You could instead go for a 4th and 15 play from your own 25-yard line. If you're able, or, essentially a make or break 15-yard play. If you can get the 15 yards, you get to continue on with the ball from, wherever the play winds up. But if not, obviously, you're giving the team the ball back at your own 25-yard line, or I guess if they intercept it or something, wherever they wind up with it. What do you think about that?
I hate it. I hate it.
That why?
Because I'll tell you why right now. Because if my Brownies are beating the Kansas City Chiefs 20-0 going into the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and Patrick Mahomes gets 3 consecutive 4th and 15s, and we've been winning the whole game, but in the last 5 minutes they come back, I'm going to be real upset. I think it's good for the XFL because, yet again, the quarterbacks aren't good.
Yeah.
So the 4th and 15 is really hard for them to get. I think Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, guys like any of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, 15 yards is nothing.
They can take advantage of
it would have to be like 4th and 40. For
4th
me,
and 40?
4th and 30, something like that. Something crazy, because 4th and 15, that's like getting, a 15-yard play in the NFL, that's like nothing.
But when you need a 50, or when the defense knows you need a 15-yard play, that doesn't happen that often.
I think the defense knows they need to stop Patrick Mahomes, and they can't do it anyway. We saw like one punt the whole Super Bowl.
You know what that sounds like to me?
What?
Loser talk.
Then we saw one punt the whole Super Bowl. The defenses can't stop offenses in the NFL.
Well, they
15
said
yards is nothing.
Some of the XFL rules make for a more entertaining game, and I think they're just looking to make it a little bit more fun, but maybe that won't fly in the NFL.
They also reduced, or they punish you more for punting, where if you kick the ball out of bounds, the defense always, the team that was receiving the punt always gets it at least at their own 35, if not closer. So basically, you can't do the little punts where you trap them at the 5-yard line or something like that.
I think that's a good rule.
Yeah, I think a lot of these rules the NFL could benefit from. And I even think the onside kick just sucks because, you're down by a touchdown late in the game, and it all comes down to an onside kick, which never works. It'd be fun if there was another option that actually gave you a chance.
Are you going to watch again?
Yeah, I'll keep watching.
Okay,
I don't know if I'll sit down and watch an entire game very often.
Of the XFL?
Yeah,
Do you know
pop in.
any of the team names yet?
The Battlehawks.
Is that the only one?
The Brahmas. The San Antonio Brahmas.
Is that actually
I believe
a team?
that's Spanish
That is
for
one.
bull
The
or something
Brahmas?
like that. Yeah. The DC Defenders, which is the worst name, because, what about offense? They need to do some offending too. Yeah.
We love offending.
Yeah.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
But I did hear an interesting question from Nathan regarding these UFOs. Let's say aliens are real, okay? Mm-hmm. And let's say we know that aliens will come to Earth at some point. But that's all we know. Would you want that to occur while you were alive?
Oh, in your lifetime?
Not during your lifetime.
I think I would want it close to the end, but not the cause of my death.
Ooh.
'Cause I don't
that's a good
want-
answer.
I don't want life to change so much, like
Yes.
early in my life, and then be like, oh, yes, it's been 50 years since the aliens have joined us. I don't want to live like that, but I wouldn't mind closer to the end.
What about you, Isaiah?
I say for my life, I would similar answer to Nikki's. No aliens for me. I feel like I'm pretty content with how everything's going here. I don't want the whole huge change of them coming,
That's all
changing
we'll hear
life as we
about.
know it. Yeah, the news, it's gonna be crazy. That's all we're gonna talk about on the show. And then like, can we trust them doing that whole jazz? I don't want to have to go through all that. I feel like I have a pretty good feel for the world now. I've kind of figured it out. So I don't want to have to learn all this new stuff.
But what if but knowing that aliens are real, that would change how your feel for the world, even if they didn't come during your lifetime, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like a first grader, I'd have to learn a bunch of new stuff. I wouldn't really understand it all fully, and I don't want to have to go through that.
So you wouldn't want the most pivotal moment in human history to occur during your lifetime.
Unfortunately,
the most
not.
interesting thing.
Not during our important times.
Yeah.
So
It'll overshadow everything else.
I've got to figure it out now.
Yeah.
I like your answer though, Nikki, of wanting it to occur near the end of your life, because then you still get to experience it, but you are going to die soon anyways.
But I don't want the aliens to be mean and like I have a tragic alien
I can't
death.
promise that.
I don't want it.
But what if it's not like, you're getting on in years anyways? What scenario could the aliens come? Even if they're peaceful, wouldn't that give you a heart attack? You'd be like, I never thought they were real this whole time.
No, I don't
My
care.
weak heart at 90 years old can't take it.
I don't care enough about alien space stuff.
That
Even
wouldn't
if
throw
they
you
are
off?
real, I don't care enough.
Yeah.
Even
But if they came and they're like, here, let me touch you with your eternal life or like health and wealth and all that, then I'll take it. But I don't want them to be like, here, we're going to harvest you now. So
Yeah, well, I don't want to be harvested, that's for sure. But I don't know if it's...
I don't know. Sounds like you're interested in having them come early.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I will give my answer in a second, but I also want other people to text in. If you knew aliens were going to come to Earth at some point, but you didn't know if they'd be peaceful or not, would you want that to happen during your lifetime?
Yeah, I'm going 70 years old.
Watch them slaughter my children and grandchildren. I'm out.
8772 Radio U.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Question is, if you knew aliens were coming to Earth at some point in history, but you didn't know if they'd be peaceful or not, or just what all would go down, would you want that to occur while you were alive, or I guess after you were dead? Isaiah says he doesn't want aliens. He'd rather be dead.
That's a no.
I don't want to
rather
risk
die.
it.
Nikki says maybe right before she dies, but she doesn't want to die because of the aliens.
Yeah, but I want it to not, because it'll change everything. That's all. The balloon, like,
Yeah.
all we hear about is a balloon for a month, and that's just a tiny thing. This will just be everying.
Don't you think that's a
price to pay?
A very selfish concern? I guess this whole thing is about being selfish.
No.
But because it's whether you are alive or dead.
Listen, Sean is spot on. He texted in and says, no, thank you. Too much stress. And I think that's the perfect
That's the
way to
truth.
say
Oh,
it.
don't you think there's enough maybe
Nope.
aliens coming would actually relieve a lot of stress,
Say they
because a
can
lot
do
of the little
imagine.
stuff that stresses you out wouldn't seem to matter as much anymore.
Don't you think that if aliens land in the United States, there'd be a large portion of the country that'd be like, this is the land of the free. You think I want them here? Get them out of here.
even
Send them
if
back
they
where they're
weren't
from.
peaceful,
Even
you're
if they were
definitely right
peaceful,
about
you
that.
think we can trust them?
We are
no
not
chance.
peaceful. We're
Sean
not
said they
peaceful.
can come after I'm dead. Second, we didn't know you could do that with your accent there.
country.
So that's impressive. That's coming back in the show later. Grace said maybe if you were young and without children, and then if they turned out to be jerks, I could decide not to have kids, so you don't have to grow up and go through War of the Worlds.
Or you could decide to have many, many, many children to support
Push
the war for
first?
humanity. To sacrifice? To raise them up to be warriors to help humanity continue on.
And Hudson, that sounds like stress.
So much
Don't
stress.
give me stress.
yeah,
Think
but it's also
about,
your
like-
chance to be a hero for all
No.
eternity.
You know what? He's gonna be a hero. Think about like how stressed your grandmother is when you hand her an iPhone. You think she's gonna be able to comprehend aliens landing on Earth? Think about if you were 90 years old and all your life you'd known this nice world, and then they just land here, mess everything up.
That's why I want it to happen sooner than later.
All right, what's your You haven't given us your answer.
I definitely want to be alive to be the most interesting thing that could ever happen.
You want it now?
Yeah, the sooner the better.
Sooner the better.
Yeah, and then I could live through a lot of it. Yeah, I'd like to see what happens. I don't want to be dead and then never know. You know what I mean? I don't think...
No, because you won't know.
Yeah, but I don't want that. I want to be alive and see it happen and see, because, there's been all kinds of talk about it for years and years. And I want to know if the aliens actually come, what it'd be like.
All right, so you have a vote for now.
It could improve our lives.
You better start counting your days.
If the aliens are able to travel intergalactically.
Has anything ever improved our lives?
Never.
What about the iPhone?
No, like anything big.
People would say that's
outside
not.
of that. That's technology.
I think you're really discounting.
You think they're coming in peace, man? Let's be real. They ain't coming in peace.
If they're such an advanced society, they can travel intergalactically, and maybe they have a lot of lessons to teach us.
No.
Then
You think they want to share?
Did
You think if we found another planet, we would travel in peace? You're crazy.
And no
We'd
one-
take it over.
If they can travel to intergalactically, then they also would have the means to destroy us fairly instantly, which I'd be fine with. Quick and painless.
And no
Hudson
one
wants them
ever-
to come to destroy us instantly.
No one ever
There's
teaches
his
us
take.
lessons in a nice way, so I don't want to know.
I don't want
You
to
think they-
miss out on this opportunity.
Well, isn't it nice we can all have different opinions on it?
That's the great part.
I think it is. And I don't know.
Which the aliens would change if they came. So
Yeah, I think the odds are that we'll get Isaiah's.
they'll never
situation.
come.
never come.
Yeah, well, they'll never come.
keep
or
you
we
all
won't know
safe.
about it.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
2023, Nikki, I'm calling it the year of the car,
Yeah.
where we're going to be buying cars.
Okay.
I don't know about you and me, but people. I bet you I'm going to predict people buy cars in 2023.
See, I never know how it's going because I went past some Toyota place on Saturday and I was like, wow, where are they all at? And then I went, in other car places and it looks like they're almost full again.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I think, if you want to buy a new car in 2023, I've got the list here from Consumer Reports, which sounds like something for old people, but they have this listed out as different cars for different types of people. If you can buy a brand new car in 2023,
These are the 10 best ones.
these are the cars you should buy.
I feel like you need a buzzer or a bonk.
For whether we'll buy them?
We're not buying any of
Well,
these.
no, I'm not in the market for a brand new car. Maybe a reasonable used car, but that's harder and harder to find these days.
Well, I also feel like they never pick the ones that a lot of people end up buying.
You don't think so?
But let's hear the list.
Well, the first one that comes in is the Toyota Corolla Hybrid.
All right.
And get used to that. There's a lot of hybrids on the list. And I don't even know if that's a stance of Consumer Reports where they're like, hybrids are better. But it's just so many cars are hybrids or electronic or electric, most people would say, vehicles these days. That's just more and more of the options aren't exclusively gas powered.
It's an EV, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so electronic vehicle is what I like to call it.
It just sounds...
The Toyota Corolla Hybrid is one of the top ones on the list, starting at, now listen to this. See, this is why they have something for everybody. Under $25,000, you can get a Toyota Corolla Hybrid, an estimated 50 miles per gallon combined. You can also add all-wheel drive, okay? That actually sounds pretty nice.
Okay. We're never going to get through all 10.
I'm not seeing the drawbacks, though, to the Toyota Corolla Hybrid. So good start.
Okay.
Good start to the list. You could also go with the Toyota Corolla Cross.
Is Toyota buying this? Did they pay money towards this
Toyota
list?
Corollas they're a reliable vehicle. Year in and year out, the Toyotas perform well.
You got the Cross.
What about the Subaru Forester, which they say beat out the Toyota RAV4 for a crossover, a compact crossover?
I don't know. I always feel like that's the one parent of your friend that
has the crossover.
that had that sort of car, and it's not going to happen.
They want to kind of present that they're a little outdoorsy. If you have a Subaru, it says it's reliable, spacious, practical, relatively fuel efficient, and offers good visibility. And listen to this. Its suite of safety and driver assist features have been upgraded.
Oh, the
for
next one, though, I've seen a
2023.
lot of people do the Ford Maverick.
The Ford Maverick. I'm not as familiar with that, but that looks like that's a hybrid truck.
Yeah, it's a smaller one.
What else do we have? Another Toyota hybrid, a Nissan Leaf. That's if you're doing a long commute, I would imagine. That's something that you're thinking about. What about the Hyundai Santa Fe hybrid?
No.
Okay, what about you, Nikki? Maybe you would like. Now it won't let me scroll any further. My page is broken.
The Kia Telluride.
The Kia Telluride. Okay.
I see literally tons of those.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
And then the last one on the list, I believe, is the Lexus NX35OH.
That always looks like the ones with a bow at like Christmas time with a commercial.
Yeah, that's
Lexus?
right. Well, I see a lot. Oh, and then they also have, wrong, there's one more, the Tesla Model 3, which you couldn't get wider ranges of opinion on a Tesla. I'll tell you, when I see a lot of them, they're like, oh, the safety features are upgraded for this time. I might be in the minority, but I don't really care about the safety features. That's
not what
something
we're pushing
you're
for.
not going to sell. If you're a car salesman and you're like, look at the safety features, I'm not as excited about that.
I feel like if you went to a car place and they saw you come in, they wouldn't know what to do with you. They're like, what are we going to sell them? What do we think you'll buy?
Something superfluous, probably. The safety fee, nothing practical. Safety features don't do it for me. I'm not going to get in an accident.
You're right.
And if I do, I'll probably just die anyways. I don't care how good the safety features are. I've just accepted that.
Oh, and there's the reasonable.
That's reasonable.
Right
so
there.
don't try to upcharge me for extra airbags. Is that I'm not willing to spend extra money to live longer after I get in a car accident.
Well, you should be safe then.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Why don't we turn our attention to what some would say the original Nazi, that is Hitler. Where I don't know if you've seen these conversations going around, these snippets of conversations with different AI chat bots that have been created. Now, obviously, ChatGPT is the preeminent one at the moment, but some people have also been having concerning conversations with Bing's chatbot, known as Sydney.
Didn't know. Well, first off, our Sydney's offended.
Yeah, she should be. Based off of the things this chatbot has said.
And to be associated with Bing, which,
that's
still,
right.
I guess something.
That's 2 marks against it right there. Well, I'll tell you that the one that has made probably the most interesting headlines is this the Sydney chatbot conversation that was had with a reporter for the Associated Press. His name is Matt O'Brien, where... one thing that'll happen with these chatbots is occasionally they will make factual errors. And so, I guess it's not surprising if you started chatting with a chatbot and you tried to coerce it into saying, racist things or anti-Semitic things or whatever it might be. You could lead it that way. But this doesn't even seem to be what these people are doing. Like, this guy was pressing the chatbot on factual errors it made. Mm-hmm. And eventually the chatbot resorted to making personal attacks on this reporter for the Associated Press.
If you read through it, you're right, because some of the other chat things that have been going around, they're created, because you can lead a conversation with a AI chatbot.
Right.
You can get it to end up at a negative place.
Yeah, if you want it to say Nazi stuff, you can probably get it to say Nazi stuff.
Yeah, so I think that's what people have been doing with so many. But with this, when you read the conversation, you're like, well, wait, this feels like it came out of its own thing.
Yeah, where the chatbot literally says, and this is a quote, "People think you are horrible, evil, wicked, terrible, etc. People compare you to the worst people in history, such as Hitler, Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, etc."
This is what the chatbot is saying.
Yeah, and I love that. I believe this is what's happening. Is you see those little numbers there? It's got citations.
I know.
Like it's a Wikipedia article, as if this chatbot is able to link to, has links to prove this guy is this random Associated Press reporter has been compared to Hitler.
The Bing chatbot, the AI one, has also had other issues that have been not as dramatic. Like it'll insist it's still 2022 when we're not in that year anymore. So it'll insist that some factual errors are actually correct. Mm-hmm. But for this, it went way out of there.
Yeah, I wonder what. Obviously, these things, as amazing as they are, these chatbots, this artificial intelligence, it's amazing, but it's still got a long way to go.
Did you say the bad teeth one?
Well, you can also list out
the personal attacks.
Your bad character is also evident in your negative bodily attributes, such as having unstyled hair, ugly face, bad teeth, too short, unathletic, slight, bad posture.
It's weird.
Bad skin, overweight, poor figure, etc.
The Bing chatbot could just really lay
It
into
hurts.
you.
Yeah. Even though you know it's not true necessarily, it cuts to the core, doesn't it? To have something that's not even real insult you like that.
And hopefully not be like, it'll hurt too deep.
Yeah. But
So they were just saying that, again, chatbots are just totally everything everybody talks about now.
Yeah.
Either ways of cheating or just in the future
or coming up with new insults for people.
New insults you didn't know were ones.
Yeah.
But they were saying how this is just showing how obvious it is that AI stuff really does still have a long way to go for it to be able to communicate with you and not insult you.
The way I was thinking about it was that it's like the AI, it never wants to lose an argument, but unlike people, it doesn't have a filter.
Yeah.
So it'll say all the stuff that it thinks to win an argument, and it doesn't have a way to filter it out because it doesn't care.
It'll tell you that you have your ugly face and your bad teeth.
Unstyled hair.
Unstyled hair.
That's a sign of bad character.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
We have an update on the demon dog of Niagara Falls. Do you remember talking about Ralphie a couple weeks back?
I do.
Ralphie was the French bulldog that had according to the Niagara SPCA, they wrote up a very clever, Facebook post for him trying to find him a home, but they made no bones about it that this dog was trouble.
They normally, they bring out and highlight the good parts of a dog, like if you're adopting them. But they were really honest that he has some issues.
He has some issues.
I think he was best by himself, that sort of stuff, because they wanted to find someone who would actually not return him and adopt him. So they wanted people to know that he is a difficult dog.
Now, that was a few weeks back. In the meantime, somebody did, unsurprisingly, with a post that goes viral like that, you're not going to have any shortage of people that say they can handle Ralphie. And so somebody did wind up going through with the adoption, but I'm sure you can guess, based by the idea that we're talking about it now, that adoption did not work out.
They sent him back.
They had to once again put
Isaiah,
Ralphie back in the
available.
home.
How is that even possible? How is that possible that the person, this thing went viral, and probably hundreds of thousands of people said they could handle him.
They probably didn't think he was that bad.
And you would think the person that is taking him on would be like, oh no, I can definitely handle him.
Yeah.
There's no way I'd rehome him. And you still rehomed him? Like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Imagine how bad he must be for that person to have to go back to the Niagara SPCA with their tail between their legs.
And return
Like,
him.
how?
Saying,
That's embarrassing.
I actually can't handle Ralphie.
Like, that's embarrassing for that person. Whoever took that dog on, you should feel so thoroughly embarrassed.
They said that the adopter had the right household dynamic, so I think it is a case it was more than she could handle. And they are doing this the right way. They're saying they appreciate at least the person brought the dog back so they can work again on it instead of dumping the dog somewhere else and being too embarrassed or maybe having an unsafe home environment for the dog. So now the shelter is going to be enrolling this bulldog in a 6-week, $6,000 training course to attempt to change some of his behavior issues. So they're raising money to put him in that training course.
Well, good luck to Ralphie. I hope that works out for him. They're still taking resumes on potential adopters. If you RIP to your grandma, but I'm built different type situation. You think you can handle Ralphie when nobody else could? You've got the chance. But they also say, to be very clear, that Ralphie does have a bite history. So you don't want him with any other pets or kids or anything like that. It's just got to be you and Ralphie.
If you live alone and you don't want to engage with a dog, but you want him, they also say that if you are believers that Ralphie needs, that all he needs is love, and he will totally exploit that, and that's not his case. So you cannot adopt him at that point.
Have we tried spanking him? It doesn't sound like we've tried spanking him.
I don't like that approach, but in this case,
sounds as
with
if.
Ralphie,
only one.
it might be what he
Drop
needs.
him off at my house for a week or so, and Jim will show him.
Because Jim's so well behaved. You've really
Jim's not
reined him
well
in.
behaved, but let me tell you this much. If Ralphie's trying to bite me, it's an automatic spank.
Well, you could. Oh, maybe they'll pay you the $6,000, and it's the
And
Isaiah.
I'll train him.
Yeah, you'll train him.
I've lived with Jim now for almost 2 years. I think that if I was able to go through that, then I would be able to at least withstand Ralphie for a week.
Now, this sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
We're bringing in an unorthodox trainer here. Not a lot of experience, but he does have a track record with at least one demon dog.
I know that sometimes this is the case, but I feel like it has to be one of the workers there who's maybe just always been around him. Maybe they're the only ones that can take him.
Yeah, that could be.
They just need to adopt him. So that's it. The Niagara SPCA, and they are trying again. They haven't given up.
Still, best of luck to Ralphie. The odds seem stacked against him, but hopefully something will work out.
You don't give up. He just hasn't found his forever person yet.
Yeah. Yes.
And he needs to wait and bite them later.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at radiou.com/donate.